bring in our CNN legal analyst, Elliot Williams, retired Maryland State and Baltimore police officer Major Neil Franklin, and defense attorney and former federal prosecutor Shan Wu. Now, that's an important point. Shan, what did you think?
Well, I think, that point about the resignation is really critical. I think it would send a much stronger message if they were to have just fired that officer. And that's interesting, letting her resign. She can keep the pension. And frankly, I have to say that I don't understand why there continues to be this sort of higher standard for officers. I think a regular citizen in those circumstances would have been arrested on the spot. There's probable cause. Let the investigation play out after the arrest. So I think all this continues to send this message to the country and the community that there's a double standard, and that's problematic.
Mark Moore.
As Mark Morial just pointed out, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act is stalled right now in the Senate because there are not 60 votes to pass it. And I think a lot of people are looking back on this last year since the George Floyd protests in May of 2020 and wondering what has changed. And it does seem that on Capitol Hill, there is perhaps less momentum, especially on the Republican side, to come to the table on some of these issues. And in some cases, you're talking about basic things like banning chokeholds, like, ending the practice of no-knock warrants, which was blamed for the killing of Breonna Taylor in Kentucky. But the sticking point on Capitol Hill has been the issue of qualified immunity for police officers. So there is a desire or a lack of desire on the part of Republicans to open up police officers to potential liability when it comes to these sorts of injuries or deaths in the line of duty. It goes to Shan's point earlier. Why does there seem to be a different system of justice for police officers? And I think that is at the heart of this issue here in Washington. I think that many Republicans do not want there to be the same standard for police officers as there are for regular citizens when it comes to things like murder, like what we are seeing in Minneapolis this week.